Russia Malloy took care of me, and I appreciate that. And that's how I really feel, you know. And
have you spoken with Teddy since the incident?
Yes, I called Teddy.
Yeah.
And I basically said what I said here. I said, look, Ted, man, obviously. And he knows from touring with me for a year and a half. He knows I'm nuts. And I said, I don't have any excuse. I'm sorry. It's not your fault. Please, under no circumstances, quit your job. It's serious. I would feel terrible about that. I'm the one who should leave if anybody.
He was thinking of quitting his job.
Well, he said that on the air.
Well, afterwards, after the incident on the air, I spoke with Teddy, and Teddy was feeling so horrible. He said, if I'm responsible for Artie not being with the show, I don't want to be here anymore. I'll leave. And I said, Teddy, no.
Right.
You did nothing wrong. You are absolutely welcome here. You're thinking backwards here. Artie, you know, Artie.
And he did nothing wrong.
He did nothing wrong. I said, this is something that has to be worked out between you and Artie, I suppose, or not. But you did not do anything wrong. And there's no way I would ever stand for you leaving here. So that was
that was nice. I'm sure he needed that from you, too. That was nice of you.
He was shook up.
I finally got a chance to hear the West Coast feed after a few hours. I talked to some people. I talked to a shrink that I deal with sometimes. And, you know, I heard Robin say, obviously, you know, there's the A.J. Benza thing, and there is a double standard. And Gary came in and said, this was funny. I thought the example, Gary.
A.J. wrote me and said, hey, can I be interviewed? You know.
Did he really?
Yeah, he goes,
come back now.
Yeah, he goes, I should be given a second chance, too.
Well, then AJ actually made contact with the guy.
Well, I said to him, yeah, I guess you can definitely call in because, you know, it would be...
And all doors are open, apparently.
Evidently.
Yeah, well, and you know, Robin's point was well taken. I thought she was right there. And Gary came in, the example to use was, look, what if one day Joan Rivers says something and he starts beating her up?
That's right.
I said, I'd like to think, I called Garrett, I said, Garrett, your point was well taken, but I'd like to think there's something inside of me that would not beat up Joan Rivers.
Well, in all seriousness,
you know.
I'd like to see that. That'd be funny.
Well, let me tell you about my side of this thing, because what happened with me.
Right.
So, of course, Artie and Teddy got into their thing on the air. And it was best that Artie leave the studio. You were in an agitated state. I never saw you so crazed. You know, your eyes were popping out of your head.
Did you see Jason Reitman when you left?
No.
Oh, Jason did see you.
He did?
He tried to talk to you.
He tried to talk to you. And you were so... He had you in mind for the lead in his next movie.
Howard, I got to tell you, just the last thing before you talk. From the time that I said I resign, and, you know... I didn't know what to do, and that was more emotion than I've ever had in my life. I was so emotional.
Right.
And like even just like trying to give you a hug or something and then leave and really tell you that I love you, and you know, it's just I fucked up a lot in my life where I end relationships badly. I always told you guys.
Right, you always do that. That's what I thought this was.
You wrote the script. You said it would happen exactly as it did.
Yeah, I mean, if I could tell you, I mean, I wasn't obviously nearly as famous back then, but if I had the notoriety I have now when I left Mad TV, forget it. That would have that was even worse. I took a swing at a cop. But after I took a swing at a cop with an 8-ball of cocaine on me at 11 a.m. in Hollywood. But from the time I sort of hugged you there and went down into the elevator, I was almost in like an emotional blackout. I really was so crazed.
Wow.
And I felt so horrible that I had once again fucked up my life, or at least put myself out there, you know, on the air, places. I hailed a cab immediately, and there's 2 cops who walk a beat around here, and they're great guys. They're fans of the show, and they were in their squad car, and they followed the cab that I got into. And they pulled up. Again, everybody was so nice. They pulled up at a light and said, "You all right, man? You need us to do anything for you? You know, we love you." And I was like, "Nah, you know, I'm an asshole."
You didn't go to the Brooklyn Diner?
No, that was wrong.
We heard you were spotted eating ferociously in the Brooklyn Diner, and I'm not kidding you. You're kidding. He went down and ate?
Really? That's what we thought.
Yeah.
Eating ferociously was accurate, but it wasn't the Brooklyn Diner. There's a diner in Hoboken on Sinatra Drive called the Turning Stone. That's awesome.
Did you go there?
I did.
You did. Oh, so you were in a diner.
Yes.
We had a report that you were in a diner.
I mean, look, someone could have just went with the odds and said I'm in a diner.
After an explosion like that, which was very emotional, I mean, you're talking about your job, you're talking about throwing everything away.
Everything.
What did you eat? I got to know.
Yeah, what
at
do
the
you
diner.
eat at a time like that?
I had a mozzarella omelet with sausage and
Most people might not be hungry after something like that would happen.
It's the epitome of comfort food.
You had been eating all morning. I'm surprised you had an appetite.
Now, what kind of bread do you have with that?
Getting by Benji works up an appetite.
You got by 4
Do you
guys.
have with that?
What kind of bread?
Yeah.
Rye toast with butter and jam.
Oh.
Did you have any drink with it? Or?
I had 2 chocolate milks. I love diner chocolate milk. I love it. It's so great.
It's with the syrup and everything.
Yeah, they make this with Jay's syrup. And I love that milk thing where it comes out like ice cold and I had
did
coffee.
you have a dessert?
I had it's breakfast.
You don't eat
dessert
pie with breakfast.
I had, but I did go to Starbucks and get a chocolate chunk cookie that I heated up.
Oh, you did. All right.
And plus, I got to get on a plane now. Like, be in the bathroom for 8 hours on the way.
A lot of people were surprised you even went on the trip to Amsterdam.
Yeah, that was speculation afterward. Is he going to Amsterdam?
And I had gotten a report. Gary was giving me updates whenever he heard him. He said, Artie was spotted in the airport. Teddy is there, too, but they're not talking a lot.
Well, I got to the gate, and, the trip to Amsterdam took on a whole different life for me. It became like, well, shit, thank God we have a week off, and I'll be out of town, And
Right.
Like you really needed to get out of town.
Yeah, out of the country. And it was a beautiful hotel, this amazing service there.
I had advised Teddy not to go if you were going because I was afraid for him.
Yeah, look, it's like, I'm sorry, you're totally justified in thinking that, but I feel so bad that someone actually thinks that I'm that much of an asshole. But I guess there's examples that, go against me thinking that.
Right. So
I saw Teddy. What happened was, look, I saw Teddy and I made eye contact with him as we were getting on the plane. We were sitting far away from each other on the plane. And I said, look, it's too soon to start a conversation. I didn't want it to go, you know what I mean? Like, I had to think more, and I didn't want him to think I wasn't talking to him because I was still mad, but I had to think about what I'm going to say because I don't want it to be the wrong thing and start something, God forbid, in the airport. So,
in the plane.
I don't know. To me, I don't know what's going on with our stock, but to me, I think everyone has Sirius that I've ever met.
Yes.
People at the airport.
God, everyone knows.
Airline attendants, they had all heard it. Like that, they all knew what was going on.
Right.
I guess maybe the computer or something, but and
there was no hiding.
I got to Amsterdam. And I pull up to my hotel, and there's 2 guys, they're Americans. I don't know if they live there or not. I'm walking to the hotel, and they go, dude, you fucked up this morning, man. This is in Holland. I guess they stream on the computer. I mentioned that to Howard, and you were like, maybe they stream on the computer. And then, but I went in, and I just relaxed. I didn't see Teddy the whole trip. I did get together with the guys to walk around, but...
I heard
with all of the guys or just some of the guys?
Well, there was 20 guys, so they were all spread out. I just happened to, I took a boat to their hotel, a gondola. And,
did you have dinner with Teddy that night?
No, I never got a chance to have a meal with the guys. We walked around for a few days, and I just stayed to myself. It really was cathartic walking around. It's such a beautiful city.
It is a beautiful city, but what do you do there alone?
Well, what about the whores and the drugs?
I did.
I went.
Yeah, I mean, did you imbibe in whores and drugs?
I didn't do any of the H's that I love, heroin or hookers.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm not going to do heroin. I mean, heroin would have been so...
No, but I meant the hookers.
Well, I took a boat tour, and we went to the red light district. And apparently, if you pay a boat guy $40,000, he'll do whatever you want.